guys, and welcome back to Fashion Attack. Today I'm again on a roof of another friend because I still do not have a place where to go. Let's open a petition, find a working space for me, maybe. What are we gonna try this time? You're wondering? It's the Etc. Lounge chair. Already the name is actually so cool, and it's this one over here. It's incredible. The design, I just don't understand how it works. I had to do so much math to understand how the legs that are diagonal can stay up instead of making your butt fall on the floor. But I got this figured out, so let's start. Nope, this tutorial has not been requested by anyone. I just found it on Pinterest. I thought it was dope, and I'm gonna do it. So if you want to see me doing your suggestions, leave me a comment down below. So here we go. Our beginning of the tutorial is literally gonna be taking out a bunch of papers. If you have a huge one, buy a huge one, but if you are stingy like me, just get paper, some paper tape, and we're gonna draw the shape that we need to cut on the wood. There was basically zero information about the measurements of this chair online, and all I could find was this drawing over here. That is absolutely not enough. So what I did was drawing the first initial dimensions that I have, stick together all the papers in order to make the amount of the length and the height that we need, and then all the rest I had to calculate it directly from the drawing itself. So here you go, stick them all together till you have a piece of paper that is big enough to make your entire drawing, and then go and mark down the only three measurements that we have: the height and the depth and the length of your chair. I will explain you what I did. I got a picture on my phone and I started measuring on the picture on my phone the distance between the sections. So this means that I knew that the total of the chair, because that's the only measurement I could find, was 108. And then I divided it that if on my phone 1 centimeter of distance between the back and the leg, then I had to multiply it by the size that was the original one of the chair. And then, yeah, that took like an hour. But I'm gonna make you skip all this and give you the exact measurements. I know, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So here we go, drawing down all the lines that we found out. The height we know is 39, and then the first curve happens at 45 centimeters. The second one at 27, the third one at 27. So finally I know that at 45 centimeters I will have to go down where your butt is gonna sit, and that is gonna be at 19 centimeters of height. Again, you go up to 39 and then back all the way to the floor to make the back of your chair. Pretty awesome! Okay. What we are gonna do now is actually just use our tape to make the depth, I don't know the word, let's say the fatness of the chair. So we want to make sure that all the wood is the same size all through the project. So I'm gonna use this to give it like same dimension everywhere and follow the tracing that I did before. I actually believe that the original chair is a little bit thinner than this, but I was so scared that the chair was gonna break that I decided to add 1 centimeter extra. Nobody's gonna notice that. It's gonna make me feel so much safer. I traced the entire tape up around, and once I did that, I colored the inside, made rounds around the ends of the wood, and cut out everything. There we go. We cut it completely out and sticked it, keeping the angles as precise as possible. And then we're gonna mark it on the wood and cut away the same identical shape. We're gonna have to do this 6 times, so I'm gonna repeat the same process 6 times. I'm gonna show you one, because it's boring. Let's do it together. Super duper easy step. We're just gonna trace everything on the wood and then take out our jigsaw after we took away the little paper and pass it on all the lines that we did. It's important that you place the wood far away from the leg of your table, otherwise it's gonna be super hard to cut it and you're gonna create a disaster. You see, this angle over here is away from the leg, and that's why I was able to go with the jigsaw inside and cut out all the little crazy edges that we have over here. You do it once and then you're gonna have to repeat it 4 times. I did it, not 6. There we go! We made a lot of little worms and we're now gonna have to connect them together. First step is gonna glue one to each other so they become double and really thick, that is gonna protect us from falling. I decided last minute that I'm not gonna cut it 6 times but only 4. I tried it, I tested it, I think it's super resistant. I'm also gonna show you me trying it and showing you that the measurements work more or less for any kind of body comfort. And this is where our legs go. The proportions are perfect. I'm actually kind of excited about this. Let's go. Let's go stick them. A professional would tell you to take out your clumps and to stick the two woods together to dry, but we all know that I don't like to spend money on not essential equipment, so just put something heavy on top and fit it with tons of glue. One day later, I am absolutely, completely burned, and I moved to the shade for the rest of the project. Yes, I am dressed like a skater boy, but I needed to cover my shoulders from the sun. These thingies over here are ready to go, and now we're gonna have to cut this huge lines of wood to create the connections between the two external legs. Yes, these are basically like legs. I decided to start just making the holes in the corners of the wood, and only after doing that I would take out a little bit of the wood that I decided would be the size and go and measure and place it in the distance in between the two corners of the wood. It was super important for me that the end ones would be on the corners, and that's why I prioritized those ones and then did the ones inside. Here you see me without any audio because I am so stupid and I forgot to put the microphone on. So I'll explain you. You have to make the size that is 60 centimeters perfectly to place your butt inside, and that's gonna be the depth of your chair. But we already did the sides of the chair, which is 4 centimeters per side, so it's not going to be 60, it's going to be 60 minus 4 minus 4, it's 52. So you're going to have to cut tons of wood of 52 centimeters to go and fill up your entire chair. Yep, we're still with no audio, but I hope that you can understand my philosophy about this chair. So what we made is tons of little woods that are gonna be like, you know the beds that have those lines of wood in the middle where you place your mattress on top? That's the same technology that we're using. I got tons of these ones that are like rectangulars, but I thought that it wouldn't be so comfortable on the corners where you have to place your legs, your back, your shoulders, and so I decided that on this spots over here, I would instead place round ones. So I bought dowels instead of straight lines, and those are the ones that I'm gonna place in between the rounded edges of this chair. Yeah, I think that's gonna make it so much more comfortable. Now, what we have to do is make the holes in which to pass our screws. No, you cannot place directly the screw inside, otherwise your wood is gonna pop, and that's why you have to make these holes over here on both sides of the wood, both on the dowels and on the squared wood, and then you have to place them all in between your chair. I decided to place first all the round ones because they were the corners and they would help me to keep the chair standing up and to finish my work more clean and more tidy and actually see what the heck I was doing while screwing them together. Once I did this, the chair was already in shape. I asked my friend to come and help me to put them on in because it was a very long work, but I was so excited and it just continued, and I can't believe that it's turning out so good. Yeah, a little dance is always welcome when you're excited, you know. And then you just go ahead and keep screwing them in, even if your phone rings 200 times and you have to keep doing it while you have a phone inside your ear. Yeah, correct. I'm sitting on it and it's holding me and it's not breaking and it's freaking comfortable. I'm shocked about the comfort of this chair, and I'm just gonna go on and blag about how happy I am with the result. I actually think that this chair is looking dope even as an outside chair, where to get like as a sand bed without even putting the fabric on top, but I will finish it just to show you the result. But I'm seriously thinking about taking all the fabric off and use it like this in future. You know what? I'm not really the girl to be too kind of cocky, but I'm a genius! This totally worked! This is beyond physics. I still do not understand how the shape holds. I even put my butt on it and it didn't break yet. So we're gonna go on with our project. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna anticipate all your comments and tell you that I am aware that my cutting with the jigsaw was kind of horrifying and it didn't go straight at all. But the reason that I didn't sand it is because why sanding it 10 times if you can sand it once? So I decided I'll finish the entire thing, construct it together, and now go and make it smooth. It's time to make our chair comfortable. If I learned a lesson, is that I'm not a carpenter, you're not a carpenter, and we're not gonna be precise. So lesson is, do not cut the foam till you finished. Normally I would cut it of the precise size that I need and then stick it on it, but I always end up struggling because I have a centimeter less or a centimeter more. So what I'm gonna do is staple it all on one side and only have to go to the other side and cut out what is extra. Not before that. I guess I'm gonna keep this theory for the rest of my life and use it every time I can. I'm not gonna cut the fabric anymore if I can do one side at a time. This way you know that you're not gonna make any mistake. So what I did was cutting out the extreme edges because it was too much foam to put inside there, and then just staple it inside. Every time you reach a corner, you make a little cut and you push the V inside, both if it's a corner to the inside and the outside. You see, cut it out, push it in, clip it inside, and you are done. On the other side, at this point, you can cut out the extra amount of foam or material and then go ahead and stable it again. When you have a corner that goes to the outside, you're gonna find yourself with a little bit of emptiness on the wood compared to the foam, and that's why I had to cut some teeny tiny triangulars to fill up the missing spots of foam. You go ahead, this took around 40 minutes and you're done. Ladies and gentlemen, you're now going to testify to a real Mission Impossible. I have a plane in 3 hours that I need to catch, and I still have to sew the entire outside of the couch. My brother is getting married in a couple of days, and if I miss that flight, I'm dead. So, first of all, comment down below. Congratulations, Manuel and Sharon, because my brother is awesome. If you think I'm energetic while he's 5 times me, I don't know how she handles him, but I love him. Comment it down below, and let's start this mission and see if I can finish it. Otherwise, you're not even gonna be seeing this episode. So here we are measuring again the couch. The top was again 60 centimeters and the side was 4. What I did was calculating how much material I would have to cut together. At the end, it was 68 for the top and 68 for the bottom. I did a mistake and did one of 66. So you're gonna see at the end that I have one of 66 and one of 70. So to get back those centimeters that I forgot to cut, but you can do it identically top and bottom. We're gonna pin them, not staple them, pin them all together, the top and the bottom, and in the middle, we're gonna put a zipper. Take out the longest zip you've ever seen in your life. I actually bought 4 meters. I think it's gonna be like 3.5 meters at the end that I gotta use, but there was no option in the world that I was gonna sew the 3.5 meters and find out it's not enough. And measure all that shape is basically impossible. So yeah, that's what we were doing. Now it's time to pin also this super long amount of material and zip together, and then we're gonna have to sew everything together in one line. It should be a very easy sewing, it's all straight. Okay, we have like an ocean of fabric to sew, but actually it's just 4 straight lines that we have to go all the way in. So this time, it should be kinda easy. Okay, what we did is basically create a sock. Yes, like a sock that just has a straight line and that you pull inside your foot and just hope and pray that it's gonna follow all your shapes. Same thing we did here. So I close the bottom side like this, and now we're gonna flip it around and just pull it through the entire chair. Guys, we finally finished the chair, and I have to tell you, it's the most comfortable thing I've ever sat on in my entire life. I'm shocked. I don't think I'm ever gonna get up from this chair ever again. The person who invented it was a genius. He literally calculated all the angles of your body so to catch you and sustain you and cuddle you. Like, it's amazing. But before I show you the result, first of all, subscribe, and second, let's go through the things that I would have done differently. And honestly, this time it's a lot, so take notes. Step number 1. I have to say that most of my mistakes were with the sewing. Yeah, we know I suck at sewing, but the wood was kinda perfect. The only thing is that the back where your head connects with your back, I did the calculation as if it was already with the foam, so I did not leave enough space, and it was basically a war to pass my hands inside in order to put the fabric. I would recommend you to add 3 centimeters of distance when you're making or cutting the wood, so that it's gonna be so much easier to put the material inside this tight corner. Point number 2. I told you to sew it as 2 straight lines, but I was wrong because the chair is rounded at the bottom, so this happens with the end of the leg, and it's disgusting. So basically, when you make your sewing, make it rounded on the bottom, same identical straight line, but rounded on the bottom, so that the sewing is gonna match perfectly. I'm just gonna push it inside like this so that nobody sees it, but you should do it right. Or maybe I should unstitch it and do it again. And last but not least, choose an elastic material. Mine was really not elastic enough, so it's gonna make a few folds. Yes, I can put it back in shape, and I will do it to take the pictures now. I have to pull it a lot and it's gonna look awesome, but every time I sit, the fabric moves a little bit. If it would be more elastic, it would just whoop, wrap around the chair on its own every time, and I wouldn't have to do this. So choose an elastic material.